Keep your head up, never let them get you fed up. You just step up, get your rep up, get your cash up, get your check up. The whole system's a setup. It's time we really get up. We've been about this revolution from the time we met up. Take it back, I got my fist up, Malcolm X in '88. A revolution only works for those that will participate. You are great, they are fake. Yo, it's time to demonstrate higher level mental states. Conscious people congregate. Show the love, not the hate. This is basic, no debate. But these people are debating and they hating. They should wait. It was bickering amongst ourselves that got us in this state. Yeah, the truth is inconvenient, but the truth is never late. You can't see what they be doing, how they thinking, how they moving. You can't see what they pursuing, making claims, done approving. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. We can see who's
Hey,
the enemy.
MTGV,
Sovereignty's
what
a
up?
remedy. You don't need telepathy.
Waiting
It's like
on some
supremacy.
guests.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Bringing the raw, doing it raw. Government officials bringing the law. You never see what you never saw.
What up?
303, open the door. Knowledge reigns. That is the game. Ignorance, that is insane. Don't fall for it. The reps and the Dems are the same. This one's shooting us up. That one's locking us up. This one got us stuck. That one's out of luck. You can front if you need to. The cycle never ends. No justice, but in 4 years they hyping us again. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you thinking and you earning and you drinking and you burning and you really not concerning with the news and what they learning, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you love it, never hate it. You agree it, don't debate it. HBCU educated, your degree is highly rated. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Don't fall for it. Yo, me, I'm not a fake dude. I'ma keep it real. They see through it all that America needs a heel deal. America ain't really sick. This is what it really is. Gunshots and cages for black and brown little kids. Now they acting like they not the cause of how we live. Do not tell me what you gonna do. I can see what you did. Look at her. Look at him. Look at them. Look at me. Do you see our interests represented in society? No, you don't. And you won't. Because democracy's a joke. Every 4 years, these same people asking us to vote. Nothing changed but the Range Rover switching lanes over. I remain the flamethrower. Knowledge reigns, game over. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Rodney King, George Floyd, man, we all saw it. So don't protest with defiance, but don't move with self-reliance. While the soul is being silenced for the religion of science. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't you fall for it.
Please.
Hey,
Can you hear
how
me?
you? Wait.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Wait. Let me close the door.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you. Nope.
I'm leaving and coming back on my computer. In 5 minutes, I have to
Go out and come back in. Yeah. Welcome. Please make sure if you're new here, like, subscribe, share this video out. We're going to be talking about propaganda and prepping. I do have 2 guests coming on. It's going to be Sabrina, again, from France, Sabrina Solitude, and then the Great Sai. He's going to be talking about this as well. This is a very serious issue in our community, so we want to spread the message out as quickly as possible. I am streaming on Instagram right now to try to bring some people over here to the YouTube. So if you are on Instagram, please come to the YouTube channel. It is Unity is Essential. Unity is Essential, all one word. And we are live over here now. The Great Sai will be here, as well as Sabrina Solitude will be here. And we will be discussing propaganda and prepping. We believe that this is a topic that we have to discuss right now with everything that's going on. So we'll just wait a few minutes until they can come back. Sabrina was having some sound issues, so hopefully she'll be right back here in a second. Thank you for tuning in, MTGV. Appreciate it. And anybody else that's out there, thank you for tuning in. And you, Callie Calv 91, thank you for tuning in. Please come over to the YouTube if you would like to finish this conversation. We will be discussing out of several books. So we have White Skin, Black Mask. We have Carter G. Woodson's The Miseducation of the Negro. We do have the book Propaganda by Edward Bernays. This book was recommended to me by Sabir Bey, as well as both of these books. And then we'll also be coming out of just a basic civics book. So, hey, I'm good. How are you? The basic civics book right here, American Civics. And this was recommended by Sabir as well. So I'm waiting on people to get here. But first, I don't want to go into the content until they get here. But just make sure you come over. Callie Calv. Is it Calv? 91? Yeah, come over to my YouTube. Unity is Essential. It's all one word. Come on over. If you want to continue this conversation about propaganda and prepping. So I'm going to go on and end this live. And the YouTube channel is Unity is Essential, all one word. Please come over and join us for this conversation. Hold on just a moment, y'all. We're waiting on some people to come. Hold on 1 second. Just a minute. Just a minute. Oh, okay, Sabrina's back. Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Marvelous.
That's weird. Let me see if
I don't know why you didn't hear me earlier.
I'm trying to put my earpiece in. Maybe that'll help. I don't know.
I don't know either. Wait, I'm at my mom's.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It's an audio issue. Wait a minute. Check. Yeah. I hear you now. I think. Oh, no, I don't. That's the freaking phone.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I don't hear you.
You don't hear me?
I cannot hear you. Let me see. No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, so we just have some technical difficulties, y'all. Please bear with us. I'm not sure why the audio isn't working.
Can you hear me right now?
So I'm just gonna play some music
Let me get my voice on.
until she can get on.
It's soft porn. They ask for more, but give them less today. This is what the ancestors got to say. Watch them.
It's reverse.
Huh?
Run up in their office with that boom, bye, bye.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Social injustice. They
Yeah, really? I can hear.
hit these corporate thieves with that boom, bye, bye.
Can you hear the music? Can you hear me? That's weird. I don't know why I can't hear you.
I'm taking aim with my 1/3.
Why won't it?
Let my words fly.
Look now. Oh man.
Bye,
Oh
bye.
wow. Everybody's having issues with their internet. Oh no. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
I quit. I come back.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, go out and come back. Yeah, we're just having some technical difficulties, y'all.
Never changes. They part of the system that puts us in cages. Time to break out every race, all ages. This is not anarchy. This is what changes. You don't have the right to tell me what my pain is, or tell me how to protest, or tell me what my aim is. You the fucking problem. That's where the blame is. Cops killing black people. That's what insane is. We politicians, we know what your name is.
Just having some technical difficulties, y'all. Please bear with us.
Actualizations against us are baseless. They falsifying evidence and burying the cases. FTP, yeah, we done heard it before. What we looking at is the beginning of civil war.
Hey, what's up? I'm waiting on Sabrina. She was just here, but she's having audio issues.
What we looking at is the beginning of civil war. Finally, we just might be getting right to the
Blue Devil, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like, and share it out. Hopefully this will work this time. I hope this works.
Hi.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Press the camera mic button at the bottom. You see that? Test your Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand why it's not working.
I'm testing. Hi, can you hear me? Yes. It works. It works.
I don't hear you. Is your mic connected?
Someone can hear me? Blue Devil, can you
Is
hear
your
me?
mic connected?
Yes.
I don't know, man. See, I don't know.
Wait.
Yep, connect the mic and cam.
And now, can you hear me?
No, but the other one said, oh, wow. The great size here. Wait a minute.
Who can hear me? Who can hear me?
He's having issues too. He can't get in either. Hey,
Hear both of you.
Queentopia. Welcome,
Yes,
welcome. We're
said-
having audio issues right now.
So
You said
she
you can hear both of us? I can't hear her. That's crazy. I got my volume all the way up.
Have you got a mic?
I guess that means you can hear. I can't hear. So, okay, there's Sai. So let's see if we hear him. Can you say something? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you either.
I can hear you.
What
Can
the
you hear
heck?
me, Sai?
Let me turn
Hey,
this
can you
off. Let me
hear
turn
me?
off all these daggone devices because maybe it's because I got all these devices open. I don't know.
Can you hear me, Sai?
Now I hear you. Now I hear you.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I hear you.
And
Said.
Say, can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Saeed? Saeed.
You can hear me now?
Hey, everybody. What's up, B? Yes. Yes. Yes, I can.
I can't hear you. I
Yes.
can't hear you.
Look, it was my damn mic the whole time, man. I'm about to lose my mind. Let me put this AirPod in. All right, so we got the technical difficulties out the way. Look, I'm sitting here, all the people like, I can hear you. So maybe this is this one of your friends, Sabrina?
Yes.
Okay, Queen Topia.
Great queen.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the
Beautiful
stream.
heart. I love her.
Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share the video out. And then we have Blue Devil. I remember him from the last stream we did. Welcome back. And okay, she says she can hear all three of us. Okay, so I already did an intro. We're going to be talking about propaganda and prepping. And it's just a topic that we feel like everybody should know what's going on, especially with what's going on in the current times. So how do you want to start it off? You want to start it off, Sabrina, or you want me to start it off?
Say he has the definition of propaganda.
Yeah, I know he did a show yesterday, right?
Mm.
That's why I should take the break today and hear the Queens.
Okay, so I'll start for out of this book here, American Civics, right? So just read something out of here. Who influences our thinking? So you got to think, this is in an American Civics book, right? So, which they teach us in high school. So it's critical thinking also demands that you realize how other people influence your thinking. How much does what others say or do influence you? No one can do our thinking for us. However, other people do help determine what we think. Families, teachers, and friends have a great influence on our opinions. Sometimes we are influenced by some well-known person we admire, like celebrities, famous sports players, etc. As you recall, we also receive ideas from the mass media. Many of these ideas are propaganda. That is, they're used to try to influence us. So they're basically telling you in this book that they use it to influence us. So, and that's, what is this? Page 357 of American Civics. Who influences your thinking? So what do you think about that as far as them using people?
Say, go ahead.
Oh, so me. I thought it was the Queens. Women are first.
He said
Because you're
first.
alone. You
Yeah.
represent yourself and your community as black men.
I say. Well, when I think about propaganda, I think about the devil being the arch deceiver, basically. Like no matter what religion you are, you have some kind of serpent, some kind of demon, some kind of negative entity. And that negative entity does all it can to persuade. And then they gave it a fancy name and called it propaganda. And we attack from head to toe in regards of it. And we attack from head to toe since we first opened our eyes. And that's serious. Like the levels of how, the depthness of it, I mean, when you really think about when somebody's going to actually try to mock thoughts when you're a child, and that's how deep it goes. That's why it's so hard to find self-love. We think we're in love with ourselves, we don't understand the scars we got to do.
Right.
That was dig in to find. So propaganda, I think it's dramatic. I mean, it's overbearing and it's about everything. I mean, like I was having a conversation earlier with Comrade, and we were talking about, I shared the fact of thought that think about how they spread this coup to the world in a matter of hours. That's amazing. Because at
Yeah.
one time, for all this technology, they had to spread it in other means. And now that shows that their power was growing even more to be propagandized a society.
Yeah,
And
man,
no
it's
matter
getting
what subject we
bad.
talk about, we can find propaganda in it. Like we could talk about the school and the propaganda in school, talking about Columbus discovered America, which we all know is a lie. You know, that's why there's an island called Columbia.
Yeah.
He's supposed to discover, but you can't discover something where people already are, and people already were there. Because him and his brother married beautiful women and called them wives, women of color.
Right.
Propaganda, we just from head to toe.
Yeah.
I don't know what aspect did you want to take it into, like, you know, propaganda that we have, why men and women treat each other the way we do. Because we've been bombarded and told how we should be in relationships.
Right.
Exactly.
Propaganda, how we talk to each other.
Look, Serena's waiting on you. She's ready.
Yes. For me, propaganda didn't begin with us. Propaganda began with Caucasian community because they had to educate themselves in the idea of they were the first, they were the best, superior, and they created everything. So they had to teach this propaganda to them first, to succeed in their plan to enslave our mind. So yes, propaganda is everywhere at school, etc., etc. But first, it comes from a myth, and this myth is to make sure the way they put themselves in front of the rest of the world, you know.
Right.
So propaganda began with this belief that maybe they had just nothing, or they were just nothing, and they had to find a sense to define themselves regarding what the others were. So this being said, when they define themselves regarding what we got and what they wanted to take advantage, from us, there's a guy called Walter Rodney who spoke about how the diaspora and the Black community react when they get out of slavery, and how we had to recreate a new way of thinking to get out of this myth. So propaganda is something, as said Said, you learn really early as a kid. As soon as you're born, you're
Yeah,
in.
it looks like that's what one of your friends said right here. And anybody that's new, welcome. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share the channel out. MTGV, thank you for tuning in. She said hello to everybody. And it looks like your friend Sabrina, that's exactly what she just said right there. I heard something once that said that a child by the age of 6 sees or hears up to 300 types of propaganda in a day.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it starts the moment you were born, because if colonization did something that destroyed the essence of the Black culture. Walter Rodney said it's like it's an empty egg right now, and we don't know how to restructure and to regain what was lost regarding the colonization, destruction of many of our civilization, and with propaganda. Okay, So when you enter this world in a world that doesn't belong to you as Black people, you are confronted to a lot of beliefs, which are for you propaganda, but for the others, to be sure that your mind will be formed the way they want you to think, you know. So to get out of this beliefs, it's really hard, because it's like they give a certain definition of yourself, and you have to redefine who you are to understand that everything around you is about propaganda.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like she said something else. Colonialism inspired false and invisible pedestals to make us believe we had to succeed by their standards to be deemed as worthy individuals. It looks like Blue Devil, Jack, what is that? Jacquees Elul? Is that French, Sabrina?
I don't know.
Yeah. She said, I don't know. It says Jacquees Elul will give you all the information you need to know about propaganda and technocrity.
Technocracy is not the real problem, if I may, Blue Devil. You know, we talk about technocracy nowadays regarding how the civilization, where the civilization wants to go. You know, we buy fast, we sell fast, we change fast, everything. So technocracy is just a bunch of people who want just to keep this power over you by propaganda too. So, but technocracy is about everyone. Propaganda is about Black people, for me. So I make a difference between these two terms when we speak about our community. Even if we can consider technocracy after, but first, propaganda is the most important thing we have to deal with since we were born. You know?
Yeah, and even what did I write? Out of Carter G. Woodson's book. It's out of this book here, The Miseducation of the Negro. He says, if the highly educated Negro would forget most of the untried theories taught to him in school, if he could just see through the propaganda which has been instilled into his mind under the pretext of education, if he would fall in love with his own people and begin to sacrifice for their uplift, if the highly educated Negro would do these things, he could solve some of the problems now confronting the race.
Yeah.
So,
I want to respond, excuse me, to Blue Devil, because Blue Devil said propaganda began with the printing press and standardizing information. I don't agree. Propaganda began when you took someone from a place if you don't know your language. Okay, you took this person and you put this person under a society which speaks another language, and you have to learn this language. And imagine learning this language. I show you a chair and I told you this is furniture, and I put a child, a Black man or a Black woman, and I tell you either this is a chair. This is propaganda. Propaganda is about how I can manipulate the way your brain, you know, the signal of your brain works to give them another path for you to think about. So it's really hard to understand after that, you know, I'm not a chair, I'm a human, but the definition of a human that you give is not what I understand regarding the words you gave me. You know, there is a situation in Tanzania. They realized that there were a low rate of success in school with mathematics. And they didn't understand why, since they realized that they were teaching mathematics with English. which doesn't work with Tanzanian people. So they correct and they teach mathematics with Swahili, and they have suddenly a higher rate. Every kids were successful in mathematics. So it's not about nowadays. You have to understand that this Blue Devil propaganda is not about nowadays. Propaganda is about how we as Black people interact first with the others, and how this construction made us begin people with nowadays, like say Frantz Fanon, alienated people.
Okay.
I have to charge my computer. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good. It looks like your friend said something else. Let's see. Technocracy was not needed to convince many that we were only 3/4 of a human being. It just aided in the concept later down the line. So that's Sabrina's friend. MTGV. Oh, you're welcome, MTGV. Thank you for tuning in. Your friend said this here. I'll go back. I'll get to you, Blue Devil, in just a second. He made another comment, but this is what your friend said here, Sabrina.
You did the concept. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And looks like Blue Devil is saying the Unabomber was a really good documentary about technocracy and propaganda. Okay. And then he says, yes, that's French. He's a top. Oh, okay. That guy was a top French scholar. I never heard of that guy. Had you ever heard of him?
Is he Black?
I don't know. So wait a minute.
I'm just asking because I never heard about him.
Yeah, we're gonna see what he says. Okay, that's MTGV.
Hello.
Let's see. He says,
I don't know what you're thinking, you guys, about this.
Yeah, there's internal propaganda and external. Okay, wait a minute. These comments are coming in, so I want to address. Let's see. Propaganda was originally intertwined via religion, tradition, celebrations, education in the modern age, more so in print, music, movies, etc. Yeah, I mean, I see it more now than ever, especially with the what is it, the coof and the sheep's milk. I see it they're trying to give people free burgers. They're trying to give people knocking off their prison sentences. All kinds of stuff they're doing out here to try to get people to do, what they say is the right thing or whatever. So
propaganda teach that we Black people love chicken.
Yeah.
Why should they love chicken?
And we love watermelon.
Propaganda is this vicious thing. Propaganda is all about our picture. For those who looking at me and me looking at them through their eyes. Right. Propaganda is all about this. Propaganda is venom, So to cure yourself and to let this venom get out of your body. Last night I have a discussion with Sai, texting, and he was sending me message, and for many words he put another word correct, and I found this really amazing, because propaganda starts with words first, as right. I said, because we didn't know how to communicate with this person who manipulate our brain. So propaganda is all about the way you signify a thing, how you want to correct a thing or uh, um, to give a certain sense to something. So this venom is really, really powerful in our community. Why? Because nowadays we are in a century when basically you could have anything. Maybe not as white people, but you can have a certain thing. You can have comfort, you can have a kind of consideration, you can have many things. So propaganda puts you nowadays in that kind of comfort. That's why technocracy maybe now came between propaganda to help us to stay, in the guidance, if I can say this, of the propaganda.
Right.
So we have to be careful the word we use, the way we talk to each other, because it's going to be the better way to correct the path of the signal in our brain to get out of propaganda, or to be aware of the real propaganda, which is everywhere. Look, in your book, when you study There's No Story About You, kids don't know that math is not about Pythagoras or Thales. It's about us, quantic too, all this stuff. So it's about propaganda is about the narrative we want to take back.
Right.
It's all also about education, how you educate yourself, how you elevate yourself.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's true because it's like we've been fed propaganda since birth, basically. Like your friend said, what was it, Queentopia 9? Because when we came out, we went to these schools and they fed us and indoctrinated us with all that propaganda. So that's all we knew was what they taught us in the schools. And that's like the worst form of it. And then this book here, this is Edward Bernays' book, Propaganda. He is the father of propaganda. He's the person that got people eating bacon and eggs together. So he's real good. And then his somebody related to him owns part of Netflix. And then I believe Sigmund Freud was his relative of some sort, either uncle or cousin or something to that extent. But I mean, it gets really deep. And this book was written back in the 1930s. So it's not like it's something new, like Sabrina was saying, and Queentopia, this is something that starts at birth. I mean, I'm starting to see more and more of it as I watch Netflix. I'm starting to see more and more propaganda within movies that I'm watching that I never saw before. And I don't know if that's because I'm waking up to this knowledge and I'm able to see things that I didn't see before. But I mean, just all kinds of stuff that I never would have thought about seeing. I see it. So welcome, Eric Brown. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel, like, and share it out. Queentopia says Sabrina, she gives you the 100 signs. So everything you're saying is correct. Look, Blue Devil, let's see. MGTV, hello. I lost my wife 23 years, so I'm in a rut, but I will give up all my information so we can begin the revolution. Sabrina. What? Okay.
I'm not sure to understand what a rut.
I'm not sure. It looks like he's saying he lost his wife, so he's in a rut. A rut means like a bad space to be in, a bad place.
Okay.
So I guess he's in a bad place right now, but he'll give up all his information so we can begin the revolution. So what information are you talking about giving up? I want to know that. So let's see. MTGV says propaganda creates stereotypes. Yeah, it does. That's the same with the chicken and the watermelon. Like all black people like chicken and all black people like watermelon and all black women wear bonnets on the to the grocery store. I mean,
or run fast, or
yeah,
good dancers, or good lover for black men at all.
yeah. Let's see. Blue, I'm so sorry to read this. My deepest condolences. Oh, okay. They're praying for him, I guess, because he lost his wife. That is
Oh,
sad.
that's what it means. Okay.
Yeah, he lost his wife, it says, of 23 years. So thanks, MTGV. Appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it just gets really deep. And the fact that it's in an American civics book, I totally forgot about civics. Like, since I've been older, like most of these books that I have, a friend of mine, Sabir, I mean, he recommended all these books to me. So I didn't know anything about any of this stuff until I started reading it. But the fact that it's in an American civics book, that means that we were taught about propaganda and what it does to us when we were kids. We already knew, but I forgot half the stuff that's in this book, to be honest. So that's why I had to buy it again, because I'm like, I need to refresh my memory on what's going on, especially like, just with the government and everything, period, because it breaks down the legislative, judicial, executive, what each person does, all that is in basic civics. Eric Brown says, I've been reading the book Propaganda. Yeah, I've got a lot of tabs in here, if you can see. So I finished this book, but I go back and reference it. Let's see, Blue Devil, pro pagan, the information. Okay, so you're breaking it down like etymology. Is that what he's doing? Etymology.
Okay.
Okay. Information to form means to shape. Right. I mean, that makes sense. If you break down the words in etymology, the prefix, the suffix, all of that, that does make sense. But I just think it's getting worse. I haven't watched mainstream news in probably over several months now. And if it's like I don't know the feeling. It's like what's going on in the world, but you don't know all that propaganda that they're talking all day long, 24 hours a day. Because I could turn on CNN right now and I bet you they will repeat the same thing within 5 minutes 50 times. And I just think it's good to not watch that stuff, because it I mean, it I don't know, it helps the issue of the propaganda, because that's all they're doing is feeding it to us. And even with regular TV, you have to know what you're watching. You have to know what you're listening to. You have to know what you're seeing, because it's everywhere. It's not just, it's even in some books. That's why you have to research the authors of the books, because you don't know who's trying to feed you propaganda. You don't know. You don't.
Basically,
I was thinking about King
yeah,
James.
You
I was
think
just
about
thinking about King James
Oh yeah, the King James Bible.
in the revised edition.
Right. How many times did they revise it? First
125 prior to him.
125 times. So
Prior to his.
wow.
And it's still been revised since then.
And you can't copyright the word of God. So are there multiple King James? Who keeps rewriting it?
They keep changing words in it, even unto the day.
Yeah.
Of words in it.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy. But we could talk all day about propaganda. We also want to talk about prepping. And the great Sai is going to help us with prepping, because I know nothing about it. Look, you got something to say, Sabrina? Go ahead.
Yeah. Because in a certain way we define propaganda, but it will be appreciated, I think, if we can invite people to consider it, to first, as I did yesterday, go to the definition, of propaganda, to be aware that no matter what, you are surrounded. You know, you said you don't know where it comes from. Yes, we know since the beginning. So, this being said, in everything you do, you have to question yourself about, am I doing this because of my belief, my own belief, because of me, or because of a propaganda? You know,
Right.
are you, when you want to stand your ground, you know, as we say, why are you doing this way or this way? So it starts with questioning yourself. Questioning yourself will lead you to educate yourself. Educate yourself will elevate you. Elevate you will put you in a situation where you're going to choose. I mean, not necessarily revolutionary, you know, but you're going to be someone who is aware. To be aware is already sufficient for you not to be manipulated and to take back your power. So, propaganda, at the end of the day, is about power over you,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that statement. I really do. Like I said, question everything. Don't believe nothing I say. Don't believe anything that she says or he says. Research it all, because we research what we found out. So now you all have to do your due diligence and research what you all can find,
I like
because you
to
may find a different answer. I don't know.
I like to say a little something.
Okay, here we
Like
go.
see the thing is, first and foremost, I had to respect knowledge, and knowledge was being presented by the three queens. So I just enjoyed to sit back and be able to embrace the knowledge. So we had one queen typing knowledge and two queens talking knowledge. Propaganda, the issue with propaganda is that too often we don't even comprehend how it's affecting us and that it's affecting us. That's why it's propaganda. You were being guided without knowing you're being guided. Most of us, if we wake up in the morning time, as long as we feel like we made the choice of the day, we feel like we are free. But not knowing that you made a choice of the day based off of the thoughts in your computer that we call the brain. So the same way, if you have a laptop, what you put inside that laptop is what you can assess. So when you wake up in the morning time, your brain assesses what its laptop is filled with. And this laptop is filled with propaganda. So sometimes we can't get to the root causes of the issue so we can understand it. And that's where the problem lies. The problem lies that propaganda goes into your subconscious, which is 70% of your brain. So just because you're consciously, with your 30% of your brain, thinking, I decided this, I decided that, most times it's not your decision, because we don't realize simple things. I'm gonna give a simple example. In the movie with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson, right? In the early edition, the first one, Danny Glover was supposed to have been a superior officer ready to retire. Mel Gibson was supposed to have been a crazy cop that no one wanted to be around. But Danny Glover had a little pea shooter 38, and Mel Gibson had the nice Heckler Koch or whatever $1,500 pistol. But throughout that whole of that movie, there were no decisions made by Danny Glover, who was a superior, sane officer. So subconsciously, through propaganda, you were being taught that the white man, even in his worst condition, is still smarter and more intelligent and brighter than you. So we have to break those down to the low level so we can understand what we've been confronted with. Because when you've been bombarded from the time you open your eyes, from the first time you open your eyes, actually you was bombarded when you was in your mother's belly, because she was being bombarded to her brain and she was feeding you the same stuff she was being bombarded. So we've been bombarded for a long time. And we have to deal with that issue, because so often you hear everybody say, man, I love me. Well, how can you? In the state of life we live in this matrix. You know, we live in a box, we're in a matrix, and we think we're free. We think we're making so many conscious choices when we really aren't. We need to stand up and fight back. You have to understand what you're facing in order to fight it. So I agree with everything y'all said. I mean, everything. That's why I can just sit here and smile and just feel good to be able to hear, power. You know?
Oh, yeah, you're right though.
Yeah, I
They're
see.
coming at us from every angle, man. Every angle.
Yeah.
But before there was a word called propaganda, they were attacking us then too. See, people fail to want to talk about the fact that we have been on the earth for millions of years. In
Yeah.
some form or another, we as melanated people have been on this earth for millions of years. Some say 2 million, some go as high as 200 million. Some scholars say in the trillions. But the Caucasian, the Caucasoid, mankind has only been on the earth for 6,000 years. And even out of their own mouths, National Geographic, they say, 5,600, 5,700 years. And we spend too much time not comprehending that in that 6,000 year span, like predominantly, we only try to deal with the world in 6,000 years. Like if you look at most of the major religions, they're only 6,000 years to now. We don't want to live, we don't want to go past 6,000 years. So what that shows me is that as long as they have been on the planet, they have been attacking us mentally, physically, and psychologically. And that's been a 6,000 year span. We might call it propaganda since the last, whatever years they wrote the book. I guess he was just extending his ancestors' ways, But we've been attacked in every manner for a very long time. We have to dig deep. We have to dig deep inside of ourselves and deep inside of our own knowledge to try to put ourselves back in the position of power. Because the power starts within, in the kingdom. Because I have to first work on my dome as a king so I can rule.
Right.
So
you're right. It goes back because if it's in this book, this was written in the 1920s.
Yeah.
This book was written in the 1930s or 20s. When was this one? This is a French book and it was just released not too long, in the 80s?
Right.
But it was translated.
Right.
So,
yeah, before he went to the World War, just after the World War II.
Yeah. And then it's in this book, which is what they teach our kids in high school and grade school. So that's like how many generations? That's 4 generations of books almost right there, or 3 generations of books that all have propaganda in them. So
we have propaganda coming at us so many different ways.
I know, man. It's like you dodging bullets. We need a propaganda bulletproof vest.
Look at the music. Look at the cartoons. Look at the cartoons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of the cartoons I grew up with. When the monster came or the bad witch came or the whatever came, the whole screen darked up, like the clouds got darker, the music changed.
Yeah.
And the villain was always somebody who was wearing black or had green skin or dark skin with the villain. So it didn't take me long to realize that was me. That was a representation of me, or supposedly a representation of me.
Yeah.
So imagine how many people that psychologically don't realize the trauma.
Right.
Yeah. And Quintopia made a good point, because as soon as the rappers started to rap about bitches, gold, etc., black people started not to be revolutionary.
Yes.
They just started to be ships.
Yeah.
So the industry, the commanders in the music industry, were, in my opinion, led by others, because it was too high level for them, because it was about the anger. People were so fed up for so long, and the music started to be what we know today,
Yeah, and then they have what's his name? Lil Nas X, all up in the Sesame Street and promoting all that. I mean, I'm fine. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm fine with it. That's your body, your choice. But don't push that on our kids. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that's right. Like I don't think that's right. And you know, kids watch that Sesame Street.
Mm.
Kids watch those. Like for a minute, when you looked on this actual platform here, and you search for baby videos, his video pulled up. Like it had like 5 baby videos, and then right in the middle was his video, the latest video of him like tongue kissing that other man, and then it
Yeah.
was more baby videos. And I'm like, that's messed up that they would put that in that algorithm, you know, because
Okay.
some parents use devices as babysitters. So, you know, they left the device there, went in the kitchen, come back, their child has watched Lil Nas X's video.
Mm. But it is inside the baby videos, you know, the baby
Oh yeah.
Muppets, you know, there's the ugly bird with a big noise is black, you know, black.
Oh, the Angry Bird. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not the angry bird.
Not
In
the Angry Bird.
the baby Muppets.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
And they put this guy in the situation where he was Cinderella, you know, and he was saying to his friends, well, I didn't want to tell you about it. I just want you to accept me as I am, you know,
Right.
in a cartoon for babies. So this propaganda tells you that nowadays it's something normal. So you don't have the choice. So when we say as soon as you are born, the society, someone is leading you to a direction, you know,
Right.
always. So yes, Sai is right. There's many things you can't fight. You can fight back, but at the moment you are doing your stuff. Maybe you can't.
Right.
I
Right.
think so many don't realize it. You know what I mean? Like if you don't know you're in a war, you're not going to be looking for battles, preparing for battle. But you remember back James Brown, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud.
Mm.
Everybody was in the picks and everybody was wanting to rock their bushes and everything, right? But then what happened? They had the strongest heroin amounts into the black communities ever in history.
Yeah.
Oh no, we lost him. It was
Oh,
probably his internet.
yeah.
Oh no, he said
It's
his
coming
internet.
back. But you
Yeah.
know about the black and proud, you know, the black woman is beautiful. It comes from a reaction, you know, because we black women were confronted to the white eyes. So we had to we had to say something about that, you know. It comes from a propaganda, you know, hide your hair, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you know. We were all these things, but still a subject of fantasy for the white guy either,
Yeah.
you know. So black women are beautiful. We took back with these 3 words from this propaganda, the respect.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about beauty, it's about respect.
Yeah. I
And
agree with that.
you can see a lot of picture from the 70s, early 80s, and look at the black woman and look at how they show themselves nowadays. Google it and
Yeah.
compare the 2 pictures. Where is the black is beautiful?
Yeah. Because they
Propaganda again.
yeah, it's there. And especially when you get around, you know, people of other races, you see them like because so much stuff has been instilled in us. You look at them and say, well, why isn't my hair like that? Or why are they doing this and I'm not doing that? So then as a kid, you know, that's hard. You want to fit in. So you start doing all the stuff that they're doing. So that's just more propaganda.
Yeah, but the responsibility goes to parents, you know. You can't choose to have kids. just because you want to buy a pair of basket that is really cute, in the foot of your baby, and these shoes will fit to your bag. Understand? So that's not the way to raise children. The Queentopia sent me this post I put on my story on IG. It's a white girl speaking about how white women raise their kids, with no self-love. They don't know how divine they can be inside and all this stuff. And what it's really, unconsciously, we all know who we are. And that's that's the meaning of propaganda, to make it quiet in your mind, to make it believe that it's useless for you to be this, to be that, because your story is great, and now, you just have to be integrated into something to earn money, not for you.
Right.
It's the worst, not for you, for someone else,
Yeah.
So the meaning of propaganda nowadays is to make us understand, because we are going to be more, the Black population will be, the rate will be higher than white people in a few years, few decades that come. So it's a problem for the white community, So they have to find a way to keep us under control still, because we are going to be more than them. They are getting old and we are getting younger, So the way we are going to raise, the way we are going to be aware about all this propaganda, this system, these tricks we have and we depend on and we try to get out, is going to be the key of the success for later, because we are going to be more. So what kind of propaganda? Maybe we, I can use this term speaking about us now, I can reverse the meaning of propaganda, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's a long subject. We'll be talking about it for hours.
I know that even it runs out sometime. Like for example, at one time they had a lot of us hooked on school. At one time they had a lot of us hooked on church. At one time, now they come to the last result, which is to have us hooked on sex. Everything is sexualized, because sex is the trait, is the hardest trait for a man to control. It's not meant to control it. It's not meant to be flaunted. So it keeps us in animalistic states, you know what I mean? So, but that's because they're running out of tricks.
Right.
They're running out of things to do.
Yeah, you're right though. It does die off. It's like,
but if you look, no matter when we rise in the 60s, 70s, when they had Say Loud Black Power tried to rise, then we got to the 80s and you had all these conscious rappers that were trying to do good music and whatnot, the 5%ers, and you had a lot of things going on, and colleges were standing up, and things were starting to give back, and then we had crack. So Samuel Yates in his book The Choice, he writes that every now and then they just turn up the heat, they turn up the temperature. They already know that they already know that they really cannot control us. They learned that in the rise of Martin Luther King. They devised some things like the Guerrilla War Act. They learned that they cannot contain us. Even then, if we would not have stopped, they could not contain us. So that's why they had to come with things like the Guerrilla War Act, which, no matter where you go in America now, there's going to be some gated community. They might not gate all the hoods, but a good portion of the hoods you go to anywhere throughout the country, there's going to be some major big hoods that are gated, because they realized they could not control us in the riots. And yes, we are outliving them at this point dramatically. The death rate in America is 8 to 10. For every 10 of them down to 8 born. Not counting that when they're pushing sex, it's also pushing sex and having them also focus on the ones that we rub elbows with they're focused on sex too. And if they go out and have sex with a person that is melanated, then that's even pushing them out even faster. So that's the reason why we're going under so much, I believe, the COOF and the purpose of the COOF being so heavily bombarded with propaganda.
Right.
They're coming to their last results. You know, they're coming at the end, you know, like you fighting somebody and you think you're about to lose, about to get tired. You say, well, I got a grandstand. I got to give all I got because I don't have much more to go. And I think that's where they are now. So, but we still have to understand that we're facing problems. See, so many of us, we don't realize we're sick. That's the problem. We don't want to be told we're sick.
Mm.
Mhm.
We don't want to look for problems. And you don't look for problems, you can't find cures. You know, you don't go
Right.
to the doctor when you're not feeling bad. You know, most of the fact you wait till you're feeling bad and you go see the doctor and you hurt yourself. Well, our people are not going to come to us looking for help because they don't realize that we're sick. I understand I'm sick. I understand the society I live in. I understand the society I grew up through, society that I have to deal with daily. And I just look at the society and say, it's demonic. It's monstrous.
Yeah.
And it's no other way to put it. It's beastly. You know, and it has the fall, it has the crash. And we just need to continue to grow, continue to learn,
Yeah.
continue to share. Each one teach one.
Mm.
Yeah. Make sure you share the video out, y'all, so other people can see it because they definitely need to know this information. But do you have anything else to say on propaganda, Sabrina?
No, it's okay for me. But they push, just respond again to Blue Devil, they push promiscuous behavior. So couples won't form bonds. So they, and then we do, because we don't question ourselves. We don't realize. So they in the first place, but we at the end. So when you know that it's not all about them, but you either, we going to find solution. Put the we on your phrase.
End it with a we. Look. All right. So we're also gonna talk about prepping. Look, so great side, you get to talk about that because I don't know much about it. I know that I've got a few things, some dry beans, some pasta, probably about 8 or 9 cases of bottled water, and some more beans, and that's it.
What I will say is that I'm not going to go into specific details of prepping name, give you a list of 1,000 items because that just it's going to bore everybody. But what I will say is that you should really sit down and think about how much food goes through your household in 1 month. At the minimum, you should try to set that amount aside. Then once you get that month aside, then work on the second month. You should have to think about how many vitamins you use, how much alcohol you use, how much bleach you use, how much shampoo you use, how much deodorant you use. You should think about how much of everything you use in that month. And you should start to make sure that you work yourself up to 3 months at a minimum. For a lot of us, we may have little issues financially, start with a month. Think about things that cannot be strictly kept in the refrigerator or freezer. A lot of people I know, they say they have 2 extra freezers in the basement full of meat. And I said, that's fine, but if we ever was to have a war, you know, the first thing you do in war is you try to destroy your enemy's water, electric, and gas. So if it was in wintertime, your food will probably last you through the winter, but what you can do after that? You know, think about the basics of water. Think about that you need water, not only to drink, you need water to be to cook. You need water to be to wash. You know, so they say you should have a gallon per person per day. You know, you need to have things that are easily cooked, rice and beans. I would say mainly. You need to have seasonings because boiled plain rice and plain beans not going to be very palatable.
What the purpose and what does it occurs?
Say it again. The purpose of why should you be being prepared?
Yeah, and why?
Okay,
What does it
my
mean, really?
my understanding is that I'm the type of person that always have believed it's better to be safe than sorry. when you hear things going across and you see things being strange, as the strange days the Bible talk about, I'll talk Bible. And you start talking about the revelations in the Bible and talk about the pestilences and the 7 plagues. And plague number 6 is pestilence, which this Kuf is a pestilence. Plague number 7 is famine, which many farmers are being paid not to do crops and things. At least that's what they've been saying. And so you start talking about this thing with China and Russia, which could be a World War III, because war is about finances. It's not about people. We are pawns in their eyes. Wars are about finances. You know, you look it up, you'll find the IRS, you'll find the FBI, you'll find the Federal Reserve. Those are not governmental agencies. Those were probably formed on the same date, not long before the Lusitania was sunk, to start a war, because war is profit. So, being as though I don't control those things, and I desire to manage and live through them so that I can help our people rise past them, then I believe that we should all be prepping. I believe that when you look out and you see all the strange things going on, and anybody that thinks that the world is exactly as it was 5 years ago, when they go outside today, something is wrong. You really sleep. You really are a Negro. They really named you well. You know, Negro means dead-minded. And if you can't see that we're living in strange days and strange things are occurring, something's wrong. Maybe when it's talk about the separation of the wheat and the tear, that maybe you might want to check yourself and make yourself into a piece of wheat, stop being a piece of tear. Right? But just in case something happens on this planet, be it by God, be it by man. What about Texas when they had the storm last year and they were out in the freezing? And I wonder how many people was thinking, boy, I wish I had some wood to set a fire. It's cold. I wish I had some food. I wish I had some.
Right.
I don't desire to see anybody in my immediate family or who was in my eye level, my household, to be hungry. So we just need to be prepared. It's better be safe inside. So we need to have food. We need to have ways to cook the food. Things people forget about.
Does it mean also that you have to prepare your body, your mind, and train in different other ways?
I totally agree that preparing is not just your food and your water. That's why I said that I wouldn't put a list, because there's so much to preparing. Yes, I totally agree. You know, I'm 55 years old, and I try to get some type of workout on a regular basis. I try to monitor my diet on a regular basis. I try to condition myself with sometimes drinking healthy smoothies, sometimes going on water. You see, I've all the time tearing up some alkaline water.
Right.
Try to find ways to not abuse my body, because at the end of the day, for me personally, as a warrior, you can't be a warrior, you can't fight. You can't fight if you ain't built for it, trained for it.
Have you got some advice to do by yourself alkaline water?
Say that one more time, please.
How can I make myself
Alkaline water?
What? Yes.
Add lime. You can add lime to any water and alkaline it enough to make your body be able to absorb it.
In chloroxygen, can't you do that too?
I'm sure there's other ways, but I know the most way that I had talked about has been the lime. That's the most way I've learned, just to add the lime. And if you don't have lime, you gotta go lemon. Even though lemon is man-made, it's still alkaline water. And sometimes it's actually putting lime in water just makes it more palatable, gives you some flavor. If you're going through a fast, or you're going through a time when you don't have much food, you can add honey to the water. You can add gravy maple syrup to the water, and that'll help your body, but give you just enough to be to keep your energy up if you have to sustain like pressure. Like say if you had to go out and fight and you didn't have much food, but you still had to fight, then that's what maple syrup water and honey water and things, which is like that fake haterade stuff today we give our kids that destroys their teeth.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
It's not very healthy.
In your opinion, what is the most necessary in a go bag as Queentopia had when she used to live? For you, what's the most important inside this bag?
Yes. Well, you know, you have 3-day bags. You have what they call home bags, or a bag you just might have in your car just to try to make it home. Which I guess you call it a 1-day bag. Some people do 3 days or up to 5-day bags with the basic things that you would need to survive: flashlight, change of clothes, things to adapt to the weather, a way to start a fire, something to be able to eat on it, maybe the energy bar, something that you can go to go. The whole objective of the bag is for you to be able to have that duration of time, you to be able to survive. Your medical supplies. I actually have bug out bags packed up, but the issue I have with the bug out bags is that too often where you're going to bug, because if society crashes the way some people claim, you might have to just nestle in for a while. You might just have to battle for what you have, because take a person who stored up a bunch of food and now you got to bug out. You can't bug out with the food, so you can just leave the food. So some of us won't be the bug out. Some of us that we consider ourselves to be soldiers, we can't bug out because we have to stay to protect. So the bug out bags definitely, it's so many things, like I say, the way you're gonna cook. A lot of people don't realize that they live in a city that you don't have a means to cook if the electric goes out. You have a way to cook. I don't care if it's coal, I don't care if it's propane, I don't care if it's a rocket stove. Do you have a way of access for food? Or do you have enough canned food? Do you understand how to fast? You understand that just because you had 3 months of food, I mean, you're supposed to sit there and gorge yourself for 3 months, because you might have to be in your house for 4 months. You don't know what may happen. But the whole point is to be prepared as best as possible. Basic medicine. If you're into basic medicine, me, I'm into herbs. I need to have my stock of herbs. I need to have my golden seal and my different herbs to do the different things I may need in case you get sick. But physically speaking, we need that anyway, because right now America's becoming the most obese nation on the planet. We're becoming the most obese people on the planet. And it's going to be very hard to have to fast or survive being obese and unhealthy. I'm not saying big boned, I'm saying unhealthy. So we do have to work on that. To survive, when an animal survives, I mean, they use all their wits. What happened when the deer don't listen well? They get caught. Right? So we need to learn how to use all our wits too. And we need to learn how to network better, because it'd be good to have a doctor as a friend. Also, I don't know, some countries you cannot have weapons, but if you're in America, you should also been buying weapons. You should also been buying ammo.
And know how to cure a broken arm, or not to cure, but to fix, some emergency, just how you say, to
Yes.
Emergency act.
Yes.
I don't know the English term.
Yes. Well, I mean, we need everything, but at a point you have to do the best you could do and prep the best as you can. Because some of us have financial issues. Some of us are doing very well.
Yeah.
Some of us haven't started doing anything, but start doing something. Because you just don't realize that some things you might have, you might be the bother of somebody else.
Are they
But
gonna
the end
come
of the
take
day,
it?
yes. Well, that's where the ammo guns come in, because the reality is that whenever they turn the heat up, that means that they cause crime to go up. Turn the heat up means they put more pressure on the Black community. That's what turn the heat up means. He compared that, Samuel Yates, he compared that to if you put some mice in a cage and you have 3 mice in a cage, you put 3 pieces of cheese, everything's going to be fine. But wait a couple of days, just put 2 pieces of cheese in one day. You're going to come back and probably find a dead rat. So they compared that to how to control us. And what they realized was that every now and then they would turn the heat up on us. And where you turn the heat up is like in Washington, D.C., what they did to turn the heat up, they put out a task force of police called Jump Outs. And they would jump out on all the Black communities and harass them and, try to call themselves stopping drugs. And they would just jump out and they were vicious and nasty. But soon after the jump outs came out and they started, I guess, feeling like they were doing great, we started having an extremely high murder rate. The stress that they were putting on the people turned that stress on themselves, because that's what we do with propaganda. So DC is a dot. It's a 3-mile circle, I believe. one of the smallest cities or places in America, but we were one of the highest death rates in America.
Yeah.
So we know yeah, we do have to start preparing. You know, we do need to start storing some water, storing some food, figuring out some ideas. We do need to start to get books. Books are also power. Books are power. We need books about everything, because how you going to teach about books?
Yeah.
See, we got our own system. At the end of the day, everything has to come to our own. You know, at the end of the day, we could talk and we could do everything we want, but we're gonna have to have our own everything.
Yeah.
I mean, would you think so? I mean, because that's the reality. As long as we're dependent on the oppressor, we're gonna always be oppressed.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have our own.
You know, propaganda affects them too. Like Sabrina said earlier, it pumps them up. It lowers our vibrational tones and it raises their vibrational tones. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading the book in, I don't know, maybe 7th grade, was Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, I remember that book.
And it's a little friend, the little one that didn't have shoes on and stuff, you know. And I got to read the copy to show the little boy with no shoes on that he ran away with. And I was sitting there like, I don't want to read this book. I don't want to come to school.
Right.
That's how I feel. I was like, the hell with school. Matter of fact, I tell you what, I got to help the guy at the shop class. He said, I got passed to go. I don't even want to be in here. Bye. You know what I mean? Like, but propaganda is very deep. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's subconscious, you know, as the Bible say for the sheep that fell astray. That's not what the Bible said. That's what King James lied and said. The Hebrew text says sheep that were led astray. And propaganda is a form of leading the sheep. For the Quran says, for the devil who whispers in your ear and recoils with his slinking self. What is a whisper? That's propaganda.
Yeah. Somebody, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, but we should be prepping and we should be training and we should be reading and we should be growing because we should be preparing to be the next world leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should cure ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't have a whole lot of money, just do it in small increments.
Yes.
You know, every little bit counts.
Yeah. Fire starter sets. I mean, I started looking recently into solar generators, you know, small solar generators. So if you let you go out, if you have a small solar generator, you can still be able to survive. You get bare necessities to be able to get you past. If you got, and you in the cold, and you got a solar generator, that solar generator even smaller one enough to keep blankets on, keep you warm at night.
Yeah.
Things may, you know, they keep talking about this dark winter, and I haven't really listened to people to an extent on it. But what I can say is that we are living in a strange days. And since we're living in strange days, I can't put anything past anything that really can, you know, I can't put anything past what anybody says. Now I better be safe inside. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, she's right though about Bill Gates. That's the one. He's the one that owns the Monsanto seeds too, right, Saeed?
Yeah. That's why you have to keep all your seeds when you cook vegetables. You know.
I didn't think about that, Sabrina, to keep the seeds.
Yeah, you know, I used to plant the seeds of what I buy. You know, what I've bought. So I plant it and then it grow, and you buy one time your seeds or your vegetables, and then after finish.
Yes.
You can.
That's another.
Yeah, always. And I have my seeds. I gave seeds to my sister, you know. So I say it's something for me. It's like gold nowadays.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, propaganda, all this thing, what we are doing, it's to feel secure, you know, together in security, not because we fear the others, but they're going to react at the end because we are rising right now, because we are aware, we know about the propaganda, we know where this world wants to go. Transhumanization, you know, is something really, really important for the technocracy, transhumanization, because they want to last. They don't want to die anymore. So they are working on system, on tricks to manipulate other to last more here. So I don't want to go deeper in that, but transhumanization, it's about us because we are melanated people.
Right.
We got the melanin.
Yeah.
So feel secure in security is to protect our knowledge, not because we fear again, but now we have to do something as a boundary against what's coming next.
Right.
So to be prepared, as said Said, to be prepared with food, to be prepared with training, to be prepared with your brain, to be prepared in every situation. And don't believe that you did everything, so now it's good. The path is, it's always reevaluate where you're at.
Yeah.
That's
Always.
true.
Either you're growing or you're dying.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely true. So, yeah, so we pretty much covered. We're not going to talk too much more about propaganda or prepping. You all do your own research, but we did give you a little bit. You have to be somewhat prepared. At first, I wasn't prepared at all. I didn't have anything.
I
I'm
have
not even
some
gonna lie.
French book to share with you because
Oh,
I received this. Yeah, I have this one.
is it in French?
Yes.
Yeah, but maybe you can find it in your language. So this one is about quantic mathematics,
Oh, okay.
where it comes from,
Yes.
because
Mhm.
the quantic is a study, in high level, MIT and all this stuff. So it will give you the key of where it comes from because it already been studied.
Okay. I
Okay.
took a picture of it, Sabrina.
And then another one. It's good?
Yeah, I took a picture.
Okay. And this one,
Let me see. Okay, I got that one too.
Philosophy of Africa.
I see
Okay.
Africa.
the basement of
Fundamentals of philosophy
African
of Africa.
philosophy, which means
Mm.
philosophy, period.
Yes.
So does that say the fundamentals of philosophy of African
No,
philosophy?
Yes.
this word, wait,
Yes, it does.
this word,
Yes.
this it's reverse, so I don't know how. The second word means the basement,
The basement.
not the fundamentals. When you build a house, you have
The
to
Foundation. The
foundation.
foundation.
Yeah, foundation. Thank
That's
you.
crazy because those words, like I said the last time, all the French words kind of are easier to read.
Yeah. So foundation of African philosophy, but it means where philosophy in the entire world comes from. And it's really deep, really, really deep. It's not a big book, you can see,
Yeah.
but it's, like nectar. It's the nectar.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find those in English. But I might be able to read the French one. Shoot, you never know. Might be able to figure it
Yeah.
out.
I think it's important for the knowledge, but most importantly for the generation to come. Because
Mhm.
when they're going to be at school, they know they can, they can get out of this piece of propaganda,
Right.
You can teach whatever you want. I know right now where it comes from because they went deeper than where you are now.
Right.
They went deeper. you can do better, even
Right.
if you believe.
That's
There's
true.
there's a book called Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James.
Stolen Legacy.
By George G.M. James. That's people that for that kind of central subjects. Yes. He went into a little bit of Aristotle and Hippocrates and Pluto, whatever the other doctor of medicine and science and philosophy. They were all frauds.
Okay.
Basically, he goes into depth of where they went and what they studied and what they lied
Can
about.
you write the name of the book, please?
Yes.
Oh,
I
you
think
want
it's
me
on
to
my page. I think it's on my page as well, though.
Okay.
I think it's
Oh,
one of
it's
the
on
books
your
on my page.
page.
Yes.
Look,
Stolen
it's
Legacy.
okay.
Go to his page.
Go to his
Yes.
page.
Yes,
The
Stolen
great-
Legacy.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James.
Okay. So I'm just gonna show these
Which
last
page?
books.
Which page?
Sabrina said, which
Which
page?
one?
Which page in the book? I
No,
don't know what page.
your page. Which one?
Oh, great underscore side. Or deaf underscore angels underscore book club underscore.
Yeah.
And what's your information, Sabrina?
Yeah, I know the page, but maybe some doesn't know. So you have
No.
to
I'm asking your page.
my page.
Yeah.
Solitude underscore Sabrina.
She said, I'm gonna put Thais' page in the
Solitude
chat,
Sabrina.
and I'm gonna put it's Solitude Sabrina, right? Or Sabrina
Underscore
Yes.
Sabrina.
I think that's right. Look at it. I put it in the chat. That's right. Sabrina?
Yes. With no big S.
Oh, no big S.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm a small person.
You are not a small person. What does that say? Oh, look, there it is right there, you all. There it is. I'm trying to type it in the chat. Solitude underscore Sabrina.
And you put you too.
Oh yeah, mine is. Let me put the other one in there. I think is that what it is? Knowledge is power. Is there
And
two?
if
I don't even know.
someone in the chat have some knowledge to share, put your address too. I will.
Yeah, anybody in the chat, you could put your
Yeah.
information. Or if you have something to say, if you want to come on, we're about to get off here. But if you have something that you want to say, you can follow. I'm trying to find my. That's sad. I don't even know the name of my daggone page.
Unity is essential, but there is also Eat Vegan. No.
There they are.
Unity is essential. Unity is essential. Yes.
Yeah, those two. So you can follow the great side here. You can follow Sabrina here. And then you can follow me, either of those pages. But no, it doesn't look like anybody has anything to say. So the books that I came out.
Yes, I have something to say.
What is that? And she said, and the Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams.
Of course.
So these are the books that I came out of today. So it was Carter G. Woodson, The Miseducation of the Negro. And we talked about some of the things in this book, but I didn't really come out of it today. And then another book that we were coming out of today. And then, of course, an American Civics book. What is
he started the war. Wait for us, please.
We're coming.
We are coming. I'm ready.
He's gone. They took him out. No.
Yeah. He's going to fight to the death. He will succeed.
I don't know where he went. Maybe he went to go get the book.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I could think of. Oh well. But yeah. So when the great side gets back, we're going to end this out. I may be doing a video by myself in the future. We will do another video. Oh, here's another one. Black Power and the Marcus Garvey movement. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me get my camera. Okay, I got it. Yeah, so hopefully, I bet you that's where Saeed, maybe he went to go get a book.
Yeah.
No, look, I hear him, I think.
If I had another one, but I think it's in my car.
I have that book, African Holistic Health by Lalo Africa. I have that.
And do you know the book of Isis?
No. The ISIS papers?
No, yes, something like that. Maybe in English it's Isis papers. I don't know.
By Francis Cress Wessling?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I have that book.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the ISIS papers.
Look,
he's gone. He's gone, Sabrina.
He's gone.
He said his internet is bad, so
I told you he's going to fight to the death.
So we want to thank everybody for coming on today. Everybody in the thanks, Sean. Oh, look, he's back. He's back. Look, Sabrina
battery died.
He said
battery died.
He started the revolution. Here we come. Don't start with us.
We are coming.
Yeah. So no, I just was saying I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you are new here, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks Sabrina for coming on and the great Sai for coming on. And we'll do another show in the future. I don't know what it's going to be about yet. I don't have a time frame, but if you have any questions, just drop your comments below about any of the books or anything that we discussed about prepping or propaganda. And we'll be more than happy to try to answer them as best as we can. Look, the revolution will not be televised. Right. And he wasn't on TV. He was gone. Yeah. That's true. So Sabrina's picture is now gone. I don't know what happened. Maybe she's still there, though. But we're going to go ahead and end this. Do you have anything you want to say before we end?
Just want to say to everybody, stand tall and seek self. Seek science of self.
Yeah.
But you got to ask the question before you can find the answer. So you
question everything. Shadow X. Hi. Welcome to the channel, Shadow X. We're about to end the live. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, like and share it out. I think something's wrong with her. Oh, her computer died. Her computer died, Saeed.
Yeah, mine did too.
Yeah. Thank you, Queentopia. Yeah, Shadow X, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, like the video, share it out. Sean, DMV, stand up. DMV, stand up.
DMV, stand up.
Isn't that your area?
Yeah.
In around there somewhere?
Yeah. Oh. DMV.
But thank you all for tuning in. And wait a minute. Thanks all. You're welcome, Sean. Thank you for tuning in. And so we'll catch you next time. All right. Peace.
All right.
Sai.
Peace.
All right. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Like I said, any new viewers here, please make sure that you like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn the notification bell on so that you can get a notification the next time we go live. Like I said, I may do a single live without the great Saeed and without Sabrina, just on the books that I've accumulated, because I haven't done a Reading is Fundamental live because I have accumulated a lot more books. So I'll probably do that. And then we'll probably discuss something else that is pertinent to our people on this channel. So again, I do thank you all for coming, and peace, and have a great day on purpose. All right. Peace.